Buonasera, good evening everyone. Welcome, thank you for joining us, and I hope you're all doing very well. Tonight we are celebrating the Festa of our patron saint San Bartolomeo, and he's also the protector of the Aeolian Islands. So please feel free to share this video on Facebook with your friends by just clicking just on the bottom right there, the share video icon. Now that I have you, I will put up a poll. It's the first time I've done polls on Facebook, so let's see how we go with this. Here we go. So what I want to know is how many of you have gone to the Festa there in Hawthorne. I think that should be showing up on your screen, hopefully. So we'll see with that. We'll see. At the moment I've got no results, but I'll let that run in the background while I just continue on tonight. So my name is Marco Angelini, and I'm the Assistant Events Manager at the Società Isole Eolie Melbourne, and I'll be your host this evening as well. So tomorrow we were very much looking forward to have a luncheon to celebrate the Festa of San Bartolomeo and the Società Isole Eolie's 96th anniversary as well. But due to, of course, the Victorian lockdown restrictions, we weren't able to go ahead with it. It's now the second year in a row that we weren't able to do anything for our San Bartolomeo and our 95th anniversary last year. So instead we thought we'll go back on Facebook Live and connect with you here. Also to let you know, the Mass next Sunday at St. Anthony's Shrine in Hawthorne has also been cancelled and won't be going ahead. So look, we've prepared this special presentation for you this evening to pay tribute to our patron saint of the Aeolian Islands. So firstly, I'd like to cross over to Tony Barbuto, the president of the Confraternita di San Bartolomeo, Melbourne, and ex-president of the Società Isole Eolie, to tell us more about our patron saint and why we celebrate him.
Thank you, Michael. Hello and welcome everyone, and thank you for watching this video message dedicated to San Bartolomeo. My name is Tony Barbuto, President of Confraternita of San Bartolomeo here in Melbourne. I hope I find you all well, healthy and safe. Sadly, for the second time, this year's Festa of San Bartolomeo has been cancelled due to the state restrictions and lockdowns. It's been since 1948 that we've been celebrating the Festa of our patron saint, San Bartolomeo, every year. It was only during the Second World War that Festa was suspended from 1939 until 1945. It restarted again in 1948. In the early days, Festa was celebrated at St. Ignatius, Richmond, then was moved to Sacred Heart in Carlton, better known by the Aeolian San Giorgio. Carlton at that time was the centre of the Aeoliani in Melbourne. When the shrine of St. Anthony in Hawthorne was built, Festa of San Bartolomeo was moved there, which is still celebrated there today. Today I'm going to speak about what I know of the life of San Bartolomeo. I've had questions asked by young people from the third and fourth generation Aeoliani, asking me why San Bartolomeo is so much loved by the Aeoliani, and how come that he chose to go to the island of Liberty. Well, this is what I know, and I'd like to share it with you all. San Bartolomeo was born in Israel, a little village called Cana. His real name was Nathanael, the son of Ptolemy. He was one of the 12 apostles of Jesus. He was well educated, but for the past 3 years of the life of Jesus, he became a fisherman like Peter, James, Philip, and few others. When Jesus died, Bartolomeo went to the east part of the world, preaching the gospel of the Lord, and spent the time in South America, Syria, and India. In India, he was preaching in the temple every day. He had a huge following. He cured the sick, he performed the miracles. The authorities were annoyed because according to them, he was teaching the wrong religion. So he was ordered to be killed. San Bartolomeo suffered a terrible death. He was skinned alive, crucified, and he had his head cut off. He was put in a box made by coconut timber and buried. After his death, the followers continued to grow, visiting his tomb by the thousands every day, asking for his blessings and cure. The story goes that the authorities were very worried, so they ordered that San Bartolomeo coffin to be dug out, put in a box made of lead, and dropped in the sea in the very deep waters. Here, San Bartolomeo made a miracle. That box would float. The very strong current of the ocean pushed the coffin across and was washed in the island of Liberty. He could have chosen to land anywhere in the world, but he chose to come to Liberty. From that point, he became the patron saint of the Aeolian Islands, from the 7 islands. San Bartolomeo made many miracles to the Aeoliani. He kept them safe from wars, earthquakes, diseases, and from starving during that period when all the crops in the land was destroyed by disease. He helped our fathers, our grandfathers, to settle into a new adopted land when there wasn't enough food to go around in the island. That was during the Depression and after the First and Second World Wars. We all know today that the Aeoliani are scattered all over the world, in America, Argentina, Brazil, and of course in Australia. In conclusion, my dear friends and devoted of San Bartolomeo, let's pray that San Bartolo will continue to protect us from this terrible disease, coronavirus, so we can get back to normal life next year, so we can celebrate the fest of our patron saint again, like we have done for so many years. Finally, thank you for watching this video clip. Stay safe and viva San Bartolomeo.
Thank you, Tony, for that. Cool. So I've got some results from the poll we did earlier. So we have 38% have gone to Hawthorne to see to celebrate San Bartolomeo at some point in history, even I guess when you were younger many years ago, and 63% haven't. I will reopen the poll just in case if you haven't submitted your answers. But please now in the comments, just write where you're watching from. Are you watching from Melbourne, New South Wales? Are you in Western Australia? Whereabouts in Australia are you watching? Are you watching over in America or New Zealand? Just go ahead and write it in the comments below. I can see we've got Julia Bibiano on. Hello, Julia. Fabian, we've got Anne-Marie, we're here, and also Enza. Hi, Enza. We've got Maria Palomara. Hello, Maria. But yes, so in the comments below, I'll be looking at that. Just type in where you're watching from. Most likely, even at home, I guess. Cool. So but please stay to the end of the show. The show will probably go for like 20 minutes. Could be even sooner. We haven't got too much for you tonight. But we do have a special video showcasing the history of the Festa of San Bartolomeo in Melbourne since 1929, and I'll show that at the end of first the formalities of this evening. So next, I'll just like to show what we normally do on the day of the Festa of San Bartolo. Now, normally we have it on the Sunday closest to the 24th of August, which is the holy day for San Bartolo. And we have it at the shrine of St. Anthony's Shrine in Hawthorne. So I'll just show you a video of what normally happens during the day. So that video was taken in 2018 at St. Anthony's Shrine in Hawthorne. In the early days, the Festa San Bartolomeo used to run the whole day, starting from the morning to late afternoon. Now we have the mass that normally starts at 2 o'clock, followed by the procession, and then which we walk around the church with the San Bartolomeo statue. That's held there at St. Anthony's, and then laterwards we have some refreshments. Normally, even a week prior at the Società Isole Eolie, we have our dinner or our dance. Our dinner or our lunch to celebrate San Bartolomeo. And the Societa's been with San Bartolomeo for many years from its beginning. So I saw we got Angelo Biviano on. We have Maria Mandarino. Hello. We have Marcello D'Amico, Anthony Taranto. We have Vince and Josie and Frank. So hello everyone. Good to see you all on with us. All right. The next person I'd like to bring on is Sam Portelli, the president of the Società Isole Eolie Melbourne, for his address.
Thanks, Michael. In Australia, my Aeolian-born parents kept a picture of San Bartolomeo on the wall of their bedroom. As you can understand, it was quite an interesting and confronting picture for me as a child, with a half-naked man holding a butcher's knife in one hand and skin draped over his other arm. My parents explained who the special person was to them and the Aeolian people. My parents and their family and friends were all devoted to San Bartolomeo and would make the trip to Hawthorne for his feast day every year. One of my family friends was especially devoted and would insist on taking my parents to St. Anthony's Shrine after they were elderly and could no longer drive there. He didn't want them to miss out. I remember attending the festas at St. George's Church in Carlton when I was a teenager. It's now called the Sacred Heart Church in the 1960s, and later at St. Anthony's in Hawthorne. I remember the big overflowing crowds, the hymns, the big procession of the statue around the church and the street at the time, the dinner dances, and always the opportunity to reconnect with old friends. These were great occasions, which we all look forward to. They were, to me, a reminder of a part of life that my parents had left behind on the islands, which was in contrast to the life they found in Australia. Being able to carry on their old traditions helped to make it feel more like home, both at a spiritual and social level. At the Societa, we have always supported the Festa and look forward to it remaining relevant in our members' lives. And that is exactly the point. Today, in 2021, do we have a place for San Bartolomeo in our busy, technology-filled lives? I would like to think that if you have any connection at all to the Aeolian Islands, you will take time to really appreciate the impact of this saint on our ancestors' lives and to hopefully reconnect with him in a small way. He can still be an intercessor for us, despite our distance from the Aeolian Islands. I looked it up. It's only 15,712 kilometres away from the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, in case you were wondering. Well, at this extraordinary time, with much uncertainty, fear for the future, I ask you to join with me to pray a special prayer to San Bartolomeo, to intercede for us and for those affected by the coronavirus, and to bring this pandemic to an end. Normally, if we were to get out our usual lunch or dinner, I would be saying, vi auguro un bello pranzo e ascialatevi. Ciao, ne vediamo un'altra volta. State buone e state salve. Ciao.
Thank you, Sam, for that. Thank you so much. Before I finish off with a video looking back at the Festa di San Bartolomeo here in Melbourne, I'd just like to a little bit update you on what's happening at the Società Isole Eolie Melbourne. We do hold many events throughout the year, and again this year we've planned for the whole normal array of events, but restrictions have not allowed us to put many of them on. So I'll just show you the events that we've got planned for the next couple months. We're already in August, so the months are going by so fast this year. But please stay tuned on our website, aeolianmelbourne.com.au. I think I can show that on the screen there. We can, that's the hub. So anything you want to know about what's going on at the club, or again with family history and the history of the Società Isole Eolie and Aeolians in Melbourne, that's the place to go, aeolianmelbourne.com.au. Or you can even subscribe free to our newsletter, where you receive emails of what's happening at the Società. Or again, here on Facebook, we'll post up our flyers of any events that are coming. But at the moment, due to Victorian restrictions, a couple of our future events have been cancelled or postponed as well. So there you are. You can have a look at that. That's what's coming up in the next couple months, hopefully. But one event that's definitely going to be happening is the annual Aeolian genealogy webinar. This is the first that's come out public for now. It's our 7th year, and last year was so highly rated by so many people from around the world. So we're happy to have it again this year on Zoom on Sunday the 24th of October. The information and registration will open in 2 weeks' time on the 1st of September. Again, we will have various presenters with interesting topics to help you on your Italian family history. And you don't even have to have any Aeolian background. Anyone with Italian ancestry will really benefit from our presentations, as this year at the moment the topics are quite general, and even last year's topics were quite general. And for many parts of Italy, you could really apply these researching techniques. And so wherever you are in the world, you'll be able to join us and from the comfort of your own home and learn about some informative topics that will come out on September 1st. And again, to keep up to date with the information, just go to our website or aeolianmelbourne.com.au/family history, just shown there on the screen. Or again, follow us on Facebook. But for those who can't wait for the webinar again this year, in about 2 months' time, we do have last year's webinar available to be watched online for those who weren't able to participate last year. So you can subscribe and watch at your own leisure. So you can do that at our website. Again, there's the link there, or just head to our homepage and you'll see a link. It's called Discovering My Aeolian History video series. So there you've got 4 sessions with 8 topics, which each session runs for about 2 hours, and you'll be able to learn you'll be able to find ways to help you learn about your family history. You'll also learn how to make some delicious Aeolian traditional dishes with Giulia Biviano. So she's in there as well. So that's what's coming up at the moment, and that's what you can have a look at on our website. We're updating the website every week with new pages and new information. So that's the best place to go. But I guess before I leave you, I'd just like to say on behalf of Tony Barbuto, the president of the Confraternita di San Bartolomeo, Melbourne, Sam Portelli, the president of Società Isole Eolie Melbourne, and myself, Marco Angelini, we'd just like to thank you for joining us this evening. Hope you're all well and at home. And yeah, just thank you for tuning in tonight to celebrate our patron saint of Liberty and the protector of the Aeolian Islands, San Bartolomeo. Again, it's my pleasure to bring this to you. You can watch last year's San Bartolomeo live show is on YouTube. We also did a 95th anniversary video, which is on YouTube. So just check out the Società Isole Eolie there on YouTube. So again, my name is Michael Angelini, and I'll leave you now with a video showcasing the history of the Festa di San Bartolomeo here in Melbourne. Enjoy. Everyone stay safe, and hope to see you soon. Ciao for now.